Hi guys, and welcome back to another lesson in algebra. In today's lesson we're going to look at something called evaluating expressions. Okay, so evaluating expressions essentially means solving the expression. So today you have a substitute teacher. Well, you may not, but if you did, what does that mean? What does it mean to have a substitute teacher or a an emergency teacher? But we call them a substitute teacher, and what that means is Miss Tipping gets replaced by another teacher. Something is replaced. So substitute means to replace something. Okay, so substitute, this means to replace. Okay, let's do some questions. So evaluate the following expressions by substituting 4 for B. Evaluate the following expressions substituting 4 for B. So what does that even mean? Well, let's rephrase it. Let's replace these two words that we probably might not entirely be familiar with. So evaluating, I'm going to say find the answer of the following expressions by replacing 4 for B. Okay, so that means every time we see a B, we're going to put the 4 instead. So the first one, B plus 2, well, we're going to replace B with 4. So it equals 4 plus 2, which gives us an answer of 6. So when B equals 4, we get an answer of 6. 7B equals 7 times B, remembering that when we expand it, there's actually a multiplication in between these two. So before you substitute, I would recommend writing it out like this so that you don't accidentally go 74 instead of 7 times 4. So we've got 7 times B, which means we've got 7 times 4 because we're replacing B with 4, which gives us an answer of 28. Now, just because you've put it in doesn't mean you leave it there. You still have to solve it by simplifying the sum. So if that means you're collecting like terms or you're just solving it numerically, whatever that means, okay? And the last one, 3b minus 1, again, write it out as 3 times b minus 1. Then you might substitute it in, which gives you 3 times 4 minus 1. And remember that we always follow BIDMAS. So brackets first, then indices, then division or multiplication, which we've got there. So we do that first, which gives us 12. And then we go addition and subtraction, which is subtracting 1, which gives us 12 minus 1, which is 11. Okay, we're going to do another couple of questions. These ones are a little bit more tricky because there's a few different variables, a few different pronumerals, which are the letters. Okay, so again, evaluate means to find the answer of the following expressions by replacing or substituting. So I actually substituted the word substituting with replacing. By replacing A equals 4, B equals 3, and C equals 5. So when I see an A, I put the number 4. When I see a B, I put the number 3. And when I see a C, I put the number 5. So the first one, remembering that we get 2 times A plus B. Then we can substitute them in, which gives us 2 times 4 plus 3. Doing our multiplication first, we get 8, and 8 plus 3 gives us 11. Okay, I want you to pause it. Actually, no, we'll do this one. No, actually, you can pause this. Substitute it into C and B, so substitute C and B to it. Find the answer of that, then multiply it by 7. That's how you're going to do it, okay? So pause it, have a go, and then come back. Okay, so we're going to substitute it in, which gives us 5 take away 3, which gives us 7 times 2, which is how we write that, 7 times 2, which gives us an answer of 14. So when you have only numerical values, so no pronumerals, inside of your brackets, you can just solve it simply by following BIDMAS. So doing your brackets first, then indices, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. If you had a pronumeral, it would be a little bit different, but we won't go into that today. But yeah, so you can solve that first. B plus C divided by 2. So what I want you to do, you can pause this again, substitute B and C in, and then find the answer of that and divide it by 2. So what you should have is 3 plus 5 divided by 2, which gives us 8, and 8 divided by 2 gives us 4. Now, when you're substituting and solving expressions, don't go and do like 3 plus 5 over here and then get your answer, put over here and divide it by 2. No, I want you to keep it like this. So substitute it, keep every part of the sum in it. Don't lose a part or don't do part of the sum on its own to one side. Make sure you keep it a running, working kind of section as you go. So we're going to do a worded problem. So the amount of fuel in litres of a race car needed is given by the following equation. And it's an equation because it has an equal sign. So the amount of fuel a car needs equals the number of laps left to drive, or the number of laps left to do, times by 2. So how many litres are needed if there are 3 laps left, okay? So this means the fuel equals number of laps, which is 3, times by 2, which gives us 6 litres. If there are 5 laps left, we would go 5 times 2, which gives us 10 litres. And you can see I've put the L here for litres, so make sure you include your units in there. So litres, if it's time, if it's measurement, always include it in there. Pause this and do 10 laps, 12 laps and 18 laps and then come back. So hopefully you went 20 litres, 10 times 2 is 20, 24 litres, the amount of fuel equals 24 litres, and the amount of fuel equals 36 litres. So you went 12 times 2 and then 18 times 2. Now we are finished, and if you have any questions, like always, make sure you ask. Otherwise, I will see you in the next lesson. Thanks, guys.